Out of nothing, he made the universe and everything in it. That's more work than one person or all of humanity together can even imagine. And it's better work than we can imagine, too. God likes work, and he enjoys work, so much so that it is the first thing he tells us about himself. Of course, God also had a purpose in the work he did, a self-determined one. But it's one thing for God to have an instrumental view of work, because he is true, just, and wholly good. It's quite another thing for humanity to have a self-determined view, because humanity is not wholly good, just, and true. Throughout this book, we'll briefly explore God's work and humanity's work, and how God intended them to complement each other. It was his plan from the beginning that our daily work would come alongside and submit to his work and purposes. Our work adds to his work. When we do our daily work out of who he intends us to be, his image bearers given the responsibility of bringing fruitfulness to his creation, we experience a taste of what it really means to be human, to live life to the full. The origin story of work is good, exciting, and empowering. It's a message about the dignity and purpose of all the daily work of humanity, not just what we consider spiritual or sacred work. But our everyday experience of work is broken. Sometimes work is just hard and frustrating. Results do not reflect the effort given. Bad work is rewarded and good work is ignored. Systems create winners and losers. Abuses of power, injustice, and poor or evil products abound in our daily work experience. It's toilsome and fruitless, frustratingly counterproductive, and difficult to align with God's purposes. This is why so many people, including and sometimes especially Christians, assume work is bad. It's like it is bent in the wrong direction. But the origin story of work contradicts this assumption. Work was given as a good gift and an invitation to be co-creators with God. When humanity rebelled against God and took work into their own hands, work got harder and less fruitful. Yet work remains essential to life, and like everything else in God's created world, it needs redemption. This is why the second statement follows the first. Given that work is essential to life, make it good. To redeem work or to work redemptively means simply turning bad and broken work into good and godly work wherever it is encountered. That is the task of the worker who follows Jesus. If we as Christians see work the way God does, then we must find and seek to heal the brokenness in our daily work as people in the public, private, and social sectors. We must also find ways to make the work of family and the work of being a good neighbor redemptive. Food is indeed essential to life. As we have seen, the same goes for all work, not just the business of food, from legal documents to car repairs, from government policy to fitness equipment, and from power line maintenance to wealth management. Renowned English essayist Dorothy L. Sayers clarifies the same point in her essay, Why Work, when she says, when a man or woman is called to a particular job of secular work, that is as true a vocation as though he or she were called to specifically religious work. Why? Because Christians can be more than just engaged, good, or successful workers. They can be redemptive workers. Every industry needs them to be. Can you imagine Jesus turning a blind eye to bad systems, practices, and products in his industry of craftsmanship? Can you imagine Paul making inferior or mediocre products as a tent maker? Jesus and Paul spent an awful lot of their time in everyday work, and I'm confident they found ways to work redemptively in their industries. The daily work of Christians is the church's greatest opportunity to complement God's work. Yet for centuries, that opportunity has been largely ignored and often squandered. It must not continue. What follows is a brief launching point for making your daily work redemptive that includes and goes beyond sharing your faith with a coworker, starting a workplace Bible study, or funding spiritual work, which are all good things. We will be challenged to think theologically about our industry and workplace, seek deep spiritual health.